the audience. So by way of introduction, let's just get some introductions out of the way. So ladies first, Savannh, tell us who you are and a little bit about yourself.
I am Savannh James, Miss Dominica 2020, as some of you may know. I am originally from the capital of Dominica, which is Roseau, but I recently moved with my family to Louisville, which is an area close to the Valley area in Dominica. I work at the National Bank of Dominica, a company that also sponsored my journey to the throne.
Yes, very nice to meet you. And a man who needs absolutely no introduction, but I'll let him introduce himself anyway, Mr. Daryl Bob.
All right. I'm just Daryl Bob, a musician in the Commonwealth of Dominica for just about, I want to say, all my life. And as far as my involvement in Carnival, I put a lot of time and energies into calypso music. And it has brought me to the Calypso Monarch on, that was in 2018. Yeah, so I have that title for the rest of my life, Calypso Monarch of 2018. I think then I was probably the 37th monarch of the Commonwealth of Dominica. So I'm back in the competition. Well, I've never left, but I say back because since COVID-19, we've had to, think of what we're really doing. And we're doing a special competition this year. And it'll be mostly online. Our patrons will be able to see the show mostly online since we have a limited amount of people who can enter the park. Or not the park, rather, but we're using the Old Mill Cultural Center.
Yeah.
And as far as my involvement in music generally, I have a Saturday night show, which we have taken a break for the last 2 weeks. That's begun in December. And we're looking forward to bigger and better things.
Yes, yes. So we have a lot to talk about. So I'm so excited that you all are here. And of course, the audience is coming in and we're looking forward to interacting with them. And of course, Push Past 10 is your number one location for everything Carnival this year, everything virtual Carnival this year. We've already had a number of wonderful guests stop by. We had King Dice, we had JD, we had Queen Marisol stop by. So again, if you want to check out who has graciously accepted our invitations and have been a part of this virtual Carnival celebration, you can always check Push Past 10 for more information on Facebook. And of course, we like to start with what inspired you to be a part of Carnival celebration. So Savannh, what was your inspiration? Why did you decide to get involved in the Carnival celebration of Dominica?
Well, from a child growing up, I was always involved in carnival. I would join my primary school costume band. Then entering high school, I started joining the larger costume bands, and I've always had a love for having fun and enjoying my carnival because I think we have a very rich culture, very unique culture here in Dominica, especially during the carnival season. And I'm privileged to be able to freely enjoy myself and have fun during that time while celebrating Dominica. But more specifically, what encouraged me to be on this journey and to go up for the Miss Dominica pageant was a very dear friend of mine, Malik. He was actually my chaperone for the show, and he saw a queen in me before I even saw a queen in myself. And he was like, Savann, I really think that this pageant is something that would be great for you, a great opportunity. And what's the worst that can happen, So let's go and let's have fun. So I thought about it at first. I was like, I don't think this is for me. And then I thought about it some more, and I felt like, okay, this is something I can do. So I got a lot of encouragement from friends, from family, and I was like, I already love Carnival. I already love most of the things that, come with it. So why not do something even more? So I decided to go up for the pageant, and that's it. I've always been a Carnival baby. I love it. I love Carnival time. That's my favorite time of the year here in Dominica. So going up for the pageant was just icing on the cake.
Yes, well, I'm even a bigger Carnival baby because I was born in February. So, Carnival is in my blood.
For sure.
So Bob, I know you're going to have to think way, way back because you've been in this business for so many years. But what initially inspired you to become a musician and then to parlay into calypso?
Well, the music thing was a sort of natural thing. From the day my grandmother bought me a box guitar, I always felt I needed to do something with it. And it came to me in high school. We were in third form, and a group of us just decided we wanted to make a band. None of us could play music, and we just decided we want to make a band. So I showed up with my box guitar, And then we started strumming a few chords, and we felt we were playing good enough. But the thing is, we never slowed down. We continued, and the thing about music, practice well. They tell you practice makes perfect, and this is really the perfect example in my life. We continued playing what we could do, and we just got better and better at it. Our interest and our ability improved, as you know, until we became professional musicians. Some maybe 5 or 6 years down the line, we started performing at the hotels and so on for pay. So that was how it happened, out of absolutely nothing, just an interest and one box guitar, you know. And as far as calypso is concerned, my friend in the band, he decided, hey Bob, you know, I think we should go into calypso. It will help make our band more popular. I said, okay, that's a cool idea. Let's try it out. And I just decided to try it out one day. I wrote a song and showed up at the eliminations, and I went straight to finals, and that was it. That was it back in 2001,
Wow.
and that was it. I never looked back. I've always been in the finals. Um, just a very interesting kind of thing, you know.
Yes, yes, and we have to talk about, because I have a program called Untapped Potential where we talk about challenges and successes, and we have to talk about
Mm-hmm.
that journey you took and your persistence and how that paid off for you. So I'm very interested in hearing about that. But let's go back to Savann, because Savann, you've had a very interesting reign. So just tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about your experience with the Carnival show, how you prepared, who were your mentors, and how did you feel when you won the crown?
Well, preparing for the show, I started with little to no experience in pageantry, of course. I went up for the Carnival Princess show, but that was nothing compared to the journey and everything that I had to do to prepare for the Miss Dominica pageant. So the people that really assisted me on this journey and really guided me and ensured that I was taking the right paths and the right steps were Malik, like I mentioned. He was a dear friend of mine, and he then became my chaperone for the show. And my teacher, she actually taught me in Convent High School, Miss Leandra Landa, and she herself is a past queen. So of course I had to bring her onto my team. She was also a chaperone of mine. And the journey was difficult, I won't lie. It was very difficult, but I had a solid team, a team that used to encourage me and, motivate me to do my best and not to worry about the mistakes. And I think that's what made me successful on the night, that I had a team that supported me and really loved me and didn't want to lose Savann at the end of the day. They still wanted to keep Savann, but just make Savann a queen. So it was hard going to the gym, having to give up some of the things that I love, like KFC and eating fried foods and pizza all the time. I had to have a strict diet. I had to have a strict schedule. After work, I had to go to practice. After practice with the girls, I had to go to my own practice. So it was a shift for me. It was a big shift in terms of my schedule because right now, well, before the show, I didn't do much after work, so to have to go to practice, to go to another practice, it was a lot to step into, but I was looking forward to it, and I knew that it would all be for the greater good, that I would win that show, I would win that crown, and so I didn't see it as too much. So I just did what I had to do. They were always there encouraging me, like I said, and so it made the journey a lot easier to handle, a lot easier to manage. A lot of the pressure wasn't on me, but they kind of took it off of me, so I could focus on my talent, focus on my work, and just doing the best that I could. So I owe them a big thank you. My team, they know themselves, Team Savannah Grass, because they really made my journey amazing. And one, it was hard, but it was still an amazing journey and one that I won't forget.
Yes, yes. And Malik is actually on the live, and he said,
Yeah.
once my name called in Ebe, I'll cry there. So he's
Yes, he was
speaking in
very
complete,
instrumental.
he's speaking in
Yes.
a complete Dominican jargon, and he's really
Yes.
thankful that you're calling his name. So Bob, let's go
Yes.
back to you before we talk about I don't even know how to call Savann's rain. The rain without the rain, because I don't think she got to travel, but she'll tell us about that.
Queen
But
COVID.
the Queen COVID. I think you deserve another year, by the way. But Bob, let's go back to you. So tell us, what was going through your mind all those years when you would be in the competition, you would make it so far, but that crown was just so elusive? What kept you going? What kept you motivated to the point where you won in 2018?
I think basically it was just my the type of person I am. I'm just not the type that I don't give up that easily. And even if it takes 20 years, if my eyes on something and I feel as if I'm getting better at what I'm doing on my journey to that, I'll keep doing it, because it never really took anything off of me. It didn't take me away from anything that was more important or anything. It just enhanced my ability to command a crowd, and that's what my whole life has been basically about. So I just persevered, and each time I got to it, I just tried to do what I do a little better, a little better, a little better. And until I got there, and they just didn't have a choice. They realized that was the best thing we have. So it was like shaping a diamond.
Mm-hmm.
I came under the pressure. There were times when I felt I could have been the monarch, and they gave it to somebody else. And it exposed a lot of things to me about the way people, or my people, or think, basically, because I felt that sometime that they just didn't feel that the monarchy was something for my personality at the time. They felt I sang a certain way, I carried myself a certain way, and it's just not quite calypso, and which I felt was always unfair. But I always felt that I am still getting there, and I'm gonna get there, and it happened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I got the formula now, and it will happen again, time and time again. It will happen.
And of course, we want to keep engaging the audience. So someone says, "Hey, Sab, it's Donnell viewing from his sister's Facebook." So someone wants you to know, Savannh, that they're
Hello.
making a special effort to view the live that you're on this evening. So again, thank you for everyone who's on the live. We have a number of people here with us. Hazel, Daphne, Makiba is here. Greta. So thank you everyone for being here as we celebrate our virtual carnival right here on Push Past 10 with Queen Savannh James and Calypso King, Mr. Daryl Bob. So Daryl, just one other question, because I thought that song that you won with was so appropriate, When They Don't Like You. So tell us why it was important for you to sing that song. By the way, do you write your songs?
I arrange the songs, but I work very closely with Dominica's best writer, Mr. Pat Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
But I arrange the music for the songs, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the music you hear, basically, I'm the one playing it. But
Mm-hmm.
my writing, when I say I work closely with him, I present him with ideas, and he basically come up with the melodies and putting the lyrics together and so on. We work very closely. We are a team,
Mm-hmm.
and a team that I love very much.
Yeah, so tell
Yeah.
us about that song. I really like that song, and that song was perfect just for you, Bob. I have to tell you.
Well, it sort of relates to the point I made a while ago when I said that if somebody looks at you and they just find they don't look at you as your personality or whatever they think of you is not for a particular thing. Even if you work very hard for it, they wouldn't give it to you because in their mind they just find, not yet. I'll give it to somebody else. And some people are very open. They'll tell you straight up, I don't like you. So when Pat came up with this song, "Go and Sing the Truth, Bob," I felt, well, okay, we're on the topic of truth, and this is something I always wanted to present to Dominicans to sort of hurt their conscience, because I felt I was doing well, and they felt I wasn't doing well enough, and which was a good thing. It kept me working hard and shaping my craft. So I appreciate it, but at the same time, I can tell you there were times when I came so close, and there was absolutely no explanation why I just didn't get there. And when I would ask, I inquired, they said, "Bob, maybe another time." There was no real answers for the questions that I had. And I just felt, I think they still don't like me. So I told Pat, um, here's what the next song is going to be: When People Don't Like You. And from there, he's a guy who'd take a topic and he would just fly with it. And he saw exactly where I was going, what I wanted to say, and he crafted this thing, sent it down to me. I created the music and everything, and it was just the perfect song that season. And that's how it came about. It's just a reflection of what I think I was going through in my society, which I'm still going through it. But I reached that point where I actually hurt people's consciences by exposing them, bringing them in the song, and we made this song in such a way that everybody else could relate to it. It wasn't just about Bob. In the last verse, I got a little personal, but everybody could relate to that song. There was a story like that in everybody's life, and that made this song perfect. When you have a song that can resonate with the people, you're in a good place.
And that's why you said you've got the formula now, so you know how to be king
Yeah,
again.
right on.
Yeah, definitely.
Right on.
So Savannh, a lot of comments are coming in for you. We have Mary Green who says, "Hi, Savvy. I think you were and are amazing. I saw a determination in you that I never knew you had. Continue on that path. You'll always be successful. Love you." So that's for you, Savannh.
Thank you. That's my
Yes.
auntie.
Oh, okay. Hi, Auntie Mary. Thank you for being here. So now let's talk about this, Queen Reign that was and
I
wasn't. So
know.
just tell me, when did you realize that you would not be able to participate in the regional competitions?
Well, the carnival was in February, last year, February 2020. And as soon as we entered March, I realized that countries are starting to shut down. Dominica itself was on the lockdown. We had to stay home. Only essential businesses could be open. And then April came about. First Island announced that they'd be canceling their carnival, and that's what happened. So around that time, that's when I realized my chaperone, Miss Landis, she told me, I don't think that you'll be having pageants, but let's not let that define your reign. So despite there being no pageants, I still wanted to be active in my community. I still wanted to do things to engage the Dominican people and, do something with my reign, not just sit at home. So I decided to start a YouTube channel. And although I haven't done much on my YouTube channel, I am going to revamp it this year and do a lot more content, create a lot more content. I did a few donations over the Christmas. I visited the Grotto home. I did a donation to my alma mater, my primary school that I attended, the convent prep. I supported a local business. Her name is Nadej Roach, and she does coloring books. She does different crafts, Dominican crafts. So I decided to purchase some coloring books from her and donate them to my past primary school. So I didn't just want to be Queen COVID, as they say, and do nothing with my reign. I wanted to still do something, still stay relevant, still have something to do to stay occupied. And so I decided that there are things that I have to do and there are things that I can do. So I tried to do that as much as I could, of course, following COVID protocols and so on.
Yeah. And I just have to let you know that Miss Landa is on the live with us, and she is very proud of the work that you have done. And Miss Landa is such an inspiration. I hope that she'll join us one day on the Facebook Live.
I know.
She needs to
Yes,
join us
she
because
really is.
I've heard some amazing things about her. So just kind
Yes,
of tell us, I mean, it must have felt like such a sting though, because part of the experience of becoming queen is being able to travel throughout the
exactly.
region,
Yes,
the JC's
yes,
competition, because we had Marisol on and she told us of the other competitions, and not just the competitions, but the connections she was able
yes.
to make. So were there any virtual events or anything?
Not really. I did one interview with the JCI people in Antigua. They hosted a live where they interviewed all the girls who would have been participating in the JC's pageant this year, last year summer. And that was the most that I did in terms of pageants overseas because everything was canceled. Everybody was home, quarantine. But I still, again, I wasn't too disappointed. I didn't want to, bring myself down and so on. I just said, okay, well, if Dominica doesn't have Carnival this year, then I'll be the queen again. And so I am. So I have a second day to reign. And hopefully, I'm hoping that Ovi treats us well and that I can travel and really represent Dominica. Because it feels good to do good at home. But, that's part of the queen journey, to travel, to win a crown, to come home. And, everybody's really proud of you. And you get so much support when you go overseas. And I really just wanted to experience that, the experience of traveling, doing a pageant overseas, because I can imagine it's very different to just the local stage. So I wanted to go through that, but again, like I said, we had to stay safe, and it's better to be safe. So I didn't take it too hard. I wasn't too disappointed that I couldn't, because I knew it was for a good cause and we were doing what we had to do to stay safe. But I'm looking forward to this year, and I know that I will be very much prepared because I've had a whole extra year. And of course, again, my team, Miss Landa, she's amazing, so I know that I'll be more than prepared if there are pageants this year.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, we want this to be an interaction. We want this to be a conversation. So I'm inviting the both of you now into a conversation because, this all looks so rosy and you've been successful. But let's just talk about the naysayers. Anyone who told you, give up, especially Bob, if anyone came along and say, oh my God, how many years, by the way, did it take from the time you got into Calypso to the time you won, Bob? How many years? What time span was that, would you say?
Well, I entered the competition in 2000 and I won in 2018. Yeah,
Wow.
but the interesting thing, one of the things that kept me going were the indicators, or rather, one indication that I was on my way to success, ultimate success anyway, was the fact that most of those years I was in the finals. Um, the latter years, I was just always in the top four, placing in the top four, coming as close as first runner up. Yeah, so it was like, whoa, if you're that close, you might as well just stick to it, and then it will pan out.
Mhm.
But yes, I've been discouraged a lot because Calypso, I think the fan base of Calypsonians, they can be, and people itself, some people can be rude in defense of their favorite Calypsonian. I remember one competition, um, I went to I went to the bathroom. That year was a very good year for me. I came first in the quarterfinals. I came first at the semifinals. Right, but then my props messed up in the finals, and I couldn't even secure my place. So I was actually winning all the way. Usually, when you're winning in the first and second round, when I say first and second round, I mean of the competition. If you're number one in the first in the quarterfinals, and then number one in the semifinals, it's very likely that you are the one that may win. So I was very optimistic. But that night something just went wrong. I was using mirrors, and the guy who was supposed to do my prop, he messed up, and the mirrors broke. So my story just wasn't complete, and also it broke my spirit a lot, which was not very good of me. But I felt so disappointed right at the last moment. I just didn't have it. I just didn't have the spirit in me, so I didn't deliver. But even before the rounds were over, I remember going to the bathroom, and I remember I said it was a very good year. I mean, at the end of the results didn't show up in my favor, but it was still a very good year. When I went to the bathroom, there was a patron who the patrons were allowed to use the same bathroom as the performers, something I discouraged very much. The guy came in, and we met each other in there, and when he was leaving, we were kind of living together, and he turned around and he watched me and he told me, "You can never win a Calypso crown."
Wow.
Yeah, he told me you can. I didn't know him from Adams, and if I see him today, I still wouldn't remember who it is. So a total stranger just came to me and said that to me. Somebody I have no issues with, and that was his way of. I don't know if that was his way of trying to break my spirit, to uplift somebody else or make way for somebody else in the competition. But it was just absolutely rude and unnecessary. It didn't do anything to me. I kept on doing my thing, and eventually I won the crown. And he was the first person I remembered that guy said to me, "I can never." He just turned around, he just watched me in the bathroom, and he said, "You can never win a Calypso crown."
Mhm.
And I just looked at him. I said, "Thank you." And then I don't know. He may never. I wish one day he'd come to me and he'd say, "I was the one in the bathroom who told you can never win, but congratulations, you won anyway." But what I have to say is something I don't know if I should say it, whether it may take away something from my strategy or what keeps me going. But I'm the type of person, the naysayers, you use the word naysayer. The naysayers, they really strengthen me, and they don't know that.
Good for you.
And I really don't want them to stop their foolish criticism, because it just makes me feel to come back and take another shot at the ball again.
Mhm.
And that's what it does. It really strengthens me. I think most of them, and I hope most of them are not listening to your show right now, but I think most of them, if they would know that this thing really spurs me on, it really gives me more and more energy to continue fighting, they would stop. And I don't really want them to stop. So I may not say that again, but it is true. They strengthen me.
Right,
And when I
right.
when I give thanks, I give thanks for them too.
Yeah, yeah, and it's interesting that you say that, Bob, because I'm the same type of person. The best thing you can say to me is no, right?
Yeah.
So even with this program, you'll be amazed the amount of people who don't respond to my messages, or they agree to be on the program, then they don't show up, and I'm like, you know what? That's okay, because what no's is supposed to do is redirect you, right? It says, oh,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
not the path for you. Try another path, and then you find your success. So,
That's
so
right.
it's
That's right.
really interesting that you have that mentality. Now, we
Yeah,
also
man.
want to go back to you, Savann, and find out some of your negative experiences. But I have to tell you, you have a whole Savannah grass on the live right now, Savann. So we have love from the Savannah grass from Miss Landa. We have Joycelyn, so proud of my daughter, Savann. Malik is just blazing up the Facebook Live. Joycelyn, that's your daughter. Wow, congrats, Queen Mother. So we're really happy that the audience is engaging with us, and we want to continue to encourage them to do so. If they have any questions or any comments they would like to throw at us this evening as we celebrate our virtual carnival. So Savan, can you tell us about any negative experiences you may have had as well?
Well, in general, I didn't really receive many negative comments, to be very honest. So I can't relate as much. But of course, there will be a few comments when you maybe post a picture, and like when we did our photo shoot, everybody will criticize about the smallest thing. But in general, there was not many negative comments to say that I would remember. A lot of it was positive. I think the biggest negative person in my life was myself. I was like, okay, I don't think I can do this. There were nights when I would tell Malik, can I just quit? Can I just not go for the show anymore? Like, is it too late? You know, because it was a lot of pressure. It was a lot like, you going up for this pageant. Yes, you have a very good relationship with all the girls, but at the end of the day, it's a competition. So, you want to win, and sometimes you might feel like you're not doing your best. So I think my biggest naysayer was myself. And again, a big thank you to Miss Landa and Malik. They really encouraged me, really helped me to love myself and to, just don't worry if you make a mistake. Don't worry if you stumble on a word. It's not the end of the world. And you always have another opportunity to do better. So in general, a lot of the feedback was positive. If not positive, it was always constructive criticism, never anything to break my spirit. And I'm very thankful for that. Again, my team was ensuring that I was always looking good, that I always spoke well, that I always put out, good energy, and everything was positive. So I'm thankful to them. But I think I was very hard on myself. I was too hard on myself at times, even when I was doing well, even the night of the show, I was doing well and I was crying my eyes out
You were
because I
crying?
felt like I was losing. Yes, I cried a lot because I felt like I was losing because I cannot see myself. I don't know how I'm looking. I don't know if I'm striking my poses like I've been practicing. And I felt like I put in a lot of hard work. And on the night, I I felt like I wasn't doing exactly what I was doing at practice. I wanted it to come out exactly how I practiced. And of course, things will happen. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. So I don't know. I was just very hard on myself and I emerged winner. So again, I think I should listen to them more when they say that it's okay. Everything is okay, that I'm doing well. But I really was hard on myself, especially the night of the show, because I wanted it. I wanted to win. I felt like I had put in a lot of hard work for the past few months. And, I wanted to be Miss Dominica. And on the night, I was like, I'm not doing as well as I practiced. I didn't hit this pose. I didn't smile as much as I had practiced. And my dress got stuck in the stage. So I felt
Ooh.
like, oh my God, this is where I'm going to lose this crown. And that's when all the tears came down. And I was like, I cannot do it anymore. I cannot believe that I'm going to lose because of my dress. And,
Mm.
I was over the top.
Yeah, yeah,
But
and mhm.
at the end of the day, I still won. So
Yes, and isn't it
I just,
amazing that we're always our biggest critics, right?
yes, for sure. Because even
Yeah.
everybody was like, oh my God, Savannh, you were so good in your talent. And I was crying because I played the piano for
Mhm,
my talent. And I am not an amazing piano player. So I
mhm,
learned, I could play before, but very simple things. My father is a he's a musician. So he taught me the piece for the show. I could do something, but not Savannah Grass like I did on the
mhm.
night of the show. So it was really hard to, I wanted to do it exactly like how I had practiced, and I had messed up a bit, and so I couldn't hear myself. I couldn't hear how the piano was sounding. So when I went backstage, I was crying. I was like, oh my God, I put in all this effort to learn this song, and it was sounding so good at home. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait for everybody to hear this. And none of my friends knew what I was doing. I actually told them I'll be singing, and I cannot sing. So I was excited to, put on that performance and show people that, I can play the piano, I can do this. It was a really nice talent, it was amazing talent. And again, thank you to Kareem. He was the one who wrote my talent, him and um, contribution from my team. And so I'm not hearing the piano, I'm not hearing how I'm sounding, I'm not hearing how fast or slow I'm going. So I really broke myself down, broke down my confidence on the night of the show. And that's when you need the most confidence.
Mhm.
So like I said, I was my biggest negative person, but the show taught me that, not to be so hard on yourself. Just sometimes
Yeah,
it's okay to make a mistake.
yeah, and also the important thing to recognize, and I think Bob will tell you this as well, is that a lot of times you know the mistake, but the audience doesn't. Can you
Yes.
relate to that,
Yep.
Bob?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
And
true.
you have to practice so well that there are times you need to improvise to save yourself, but whatever you're doing has to be second nature, so you can just drop something in there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's
With
what
that
my
said,
dad
with
told me.
that
My
said,
dad said, don't worry, because
yeah.
I'm the one who knows how the piece sounds. So even if I do maybe go off or I forget a part, it's okay. Just keep it going. Keep going. Don't stop.
Hmm.
Right. With that said, Simone, can I take a short break, like a 2-minute break?
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm not gonna tell you for what.
Yes, 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 yes. Go ahead, go ahead.
Thank you,
Come right
thank
back.
you,
I'll keep talking to
thank
Savann.
you,
Okay. Yes,
thank you.
yes, Savann. So back to you. Yes. So you talk about, everything that you've experienced so far, but let's kind of talk about what you're working on, any future plans that you may have.
Well, actually, I am hoping and praying that this year has pageants, that there will be carnivals this year. So that's basically what my focus will be. My chaperone actually told me that I have to get back in the gym. So that's what I'm working on. I'm actually also working on bringing new content to my YouTube channel. So if anybody's watching, head to my YouTube channel. It's Queen South. And like, share, subscribe, because there'll be new content there. I actually want to do a lot more of showcasing Dominica, some staycations, anything that you can do at home, because right now we cannot travel. So I want to do some cooking vlogs, because I love to cook, and just let the people get to know me, know their queen personally. And yes, and then hopefully we'll have pageants. So a lot of my time will be focused on the pageants. And with that, I want to vlog my experience, my preparations for the show, my practices, traveling. I want to put all that on my YouTube channel so it can kind of all come together. And so that's my plans for the upcoming year. And of course, I'll do some outreaches in my community and so on. And I'll stay engaged for sure.
Yeah, sound like some wonderful plans. YouTube is definitely the place to be for everything that you're talking about. And of course, everyone is still wishing you well on the Facebook Live. We have Khadijah who says, "Hi, Queen." Ingrid says, "Always on point, savvy." Malik says,
Mm.
don't forget after talent round. Did something happen after talent round?" He said, "Don't
Yes,
forget."
I was crying. Yes,
Oh,
I was crying a
wow.
lot.
Wow, and you still pull it off. So what gave you the
Yes.
ability to switch off the tears and start smiling
And
again and regain your grace?
well, after we had to do the next round. I cannot go on stage crying. So Malik, everybody was very calm. I was the only one that was hysterical. So Miss Landa was chill. Malik was chill. My sister was hysterical with me because, of course, she's new to this whole pageantry thing. She was my makeup artist for the show. She did my face tonight as well. So she was my makeup artist for the show. So both of us are very new to pageantry. We don't know anything. We're very close. So it's like backstage, she see me crying, so she herself starts to cry. And so, but everybody else was very calm. Malik was
Mhm.
calm, like, what are you crying for? My father was calm. He actually took me for a walk because I was hysterical. I was doing the most. So
Mhm.
he was like, okay, let's go take a walk, get out of because you're in a kind of a small space with all your team and stuff. So he's like, let's get out of the small space and let's take some fresh air. Let's take a walk. And so that helped me calm down. That was after costume round. I kind of passed out a bit because of my costume was very heavy. So I was a bit weak and stuff. So he took me for a walk. So it was just everybody else being calm. I was able to be calm myself. So
Mhm. Mhm.
again, they have the experience being backstage, so they know what it's like, and I guess the girl is maybe hysterical, so you have to remain calm. So everybody was calm, and that really helped me to just calm myself and get ready for the next round. They were there preparing. Okay, put your shoes, I'm there crying, but they're putting my shoes on, they're putting my earrings on, and yeah. So they having a team that knows, has experience. That was very helpful backstage for me.
Yeah, so that speaks so well to having the right people around you. Having that team to where
For sure.
you're in tears, you're in a queen competition,
Yes.
you're bawling your eyes off, but they're here putting your shoes off on and saying, "Come on,
Yes.
you can do this." Wow, you have an amazing
Because
team.
they know.
Uh-huh,
Yes,
uh-huh.
I love them very much.
Yes, I can tell and I can see why. Now, if you had to give any advice to a young lady who's interested in going up for the Miss Dominica pageant, what advice would you give to anyone who's considering the
I, w-
competition?
I would say just go for it. Don't think of anything. Don't think you're too slim, too fat, too tall, too short. Oh, you had a wide variety of girls. We had tall, we had short, we had thick, we had petite. So it really doesn't matter. Just get a group of people, again, your team that is behind you. It's very important. They ensure it's someone who has experience in the whole
You okay? Oh,
sorry, my phone fell.
yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That's
One
technology.
moment.
We just roll with it. Yeah. So in the meantime, let's go over to Bob while you're getting set up. So Bob, hold on. Let me. I'm trying to unmute you. Are you muted on your end? Okay, here you are.
I just, yeah.
Yeah, so I hope you went to prepare something first, because you disappear and you make it big vary.
Well,
So
I needed to go. I had to go.
okay, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
Right.
And you were talking about going to the bathroom, and Ali baby said, "Hey, Bob, you going on pee-pee?" When you were talking about going to the bathroom and the guy met you.
Oh yes. Ali
I mean,
baby.
folks, he's human, right? We all gotta go.
We all gotta go.
but anyway, just talk to us about what you're working on. What is the road ahead for you? I know you've been doing some innovative things, so just talk to us about what you're working on right now.
Well, from this Christmas season, I started something pretty interesting, which was inspired by the COVID-19 season that we can't travel, and music is our livelihood. So I decided to do online events, and I started with a Christmas show. Um, I brought back Moving to the music, Moving Del Sol. It was the two of us who started Rough and Ready. And it was a very perfect time for us to do some Christmas shows of Rough and Ready, which was very, very well received. And I decided I'll just ride the Christmas wave into Carnival. But though we don't have Carnival, so it made the show, very appropriate. And we have so many viewers. It's like, wow, it's one of the best decisions I ever made in my whole career.
Yeah, I watch
It's
all the
fun.
time.
Thank you. And we decided for some, to get some things organized a little better to serve the people. I'll just take at least a week or two off. I think I'm going to take this week off as well. Expecting some stuff from the US to enhance what we do. So this is it basically. And added to that now, yes, well, the competition is here in some form. And we are at the moment preparing for the Calypso competition. It's a one song competition this time, so it doesn't put a lot of strain on me to prepare. Normally you have to do two songs that works on your memory, that works on a whole lot of preparation, getting a team together and so on. But this is a lot easier. I am still in the studio doing the final mix to my song, the same song that you already have.
I'm gonna play it.
But we are in a good place, and I feel very good about the work that has been done so far. Even before I started recording the Calypso, I was in the studio recording other songs that I'll release during the year. So a lot of work since December, and I'm happy, and I'm going to stick to it to get my dream fulfilled, because I have so many songs I need to release.
Very good. And as we get ready to wrap up, I just want to hear your views, because as we said, there's no real carnival. But do you have any views, any ideas of what we can do virtually? I mean, besides the fact that, I've taken over Carnival Virtual 2021 right here on Push Past 10. And again, we have a lot more coming up. So I encourage everyone to like Push Past 10, follow us, and click the notification, because we have a lot more coming up for 2021 Carnival. But do you guys have any suggestions of what we could still do just to promote Carnival, to find a way to celebrate even during COVID-19?
Well, I don't know if Savannh is there to start on that, or should I just give my thoughts?
Go ahead. Let Savannh mull it over.
Okay. Yeah. One of the first things I think is that there's no real reason for us not to have some kind of good representation of Carnival nationally. I think we should have had Carnival. I think the Queen shows and so on should have been on just the same way there'll be a Calypso show. The whole, you see, Queen show is really a visual thing, And that is what the internet provides for us to do visual presentation. So there should have been a Queen show. Even if you want to call it a special one, like the Calypso Association is calling this year's competition a special competition. Some people say it's a COVID competition, an online competition, and so on. But I still think with with the absence of the crowds, we could still have our shows. There, the bands are performing. I've been Triple K. I've done several shows since, and their viewership is very good. It's fantastic, and I think everybody should do that sort of thing. And it's happening in the other islands. What is preventing us from having representing what is our heritage and so on online? Because really, it's Carnival is a visual and sound thing. So I think there should have been Carnival. I think what you can do from your end is to try to energize those groups. Tell them that you want to talk to them. Like right now, you're talking to the Carnival Queen, the reigning Carnival Queen, and which is a good thing. Savannh has put on her crown and she presents herself in full character. And I think you can do that with the other groups. You right now you're talking to me. Eventually, I think you may contact JD and have a conversation with him as well.
Yes,
It
we had JD last
us.
week. We had JD last week.
Right. Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
It energizes us. It makes us feel as if what we're doing, people still want more of us, and we need to continue doing what we're doing. I would imagine that soon you may talk to Carlin XP if you have not spoken to her as yet, because she's I refer to her as the leader in the online performances thing, because
absolutely,
you understand, during the COVID-19 lockdown she was there, and she's still there doing her thing and growing. So you need to appeal more to these groups and personalities, and I think it will be a very good thing because it energizes them. It makes them feel, even in the absence of a national activity where we cannot have huge crowds, their expression, their thing is still needed. People still want to hear from them, want to know what they're thinking. Are you going to do something? Because people are missing the art form, and that's what I think. That's what you can do from your end.
Yeah, certainly. And thank you for the advice. And, of course, I'm so thankful because many times, individuals like you, Savannh, and I'm really grateful that Savannh showed up with a beautiful crown and she showed up to represent Dominica's Miss Dominica. So Savannh, very, very much thankful for that.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I'm just grateful that you, Bob, Savannh, JD, Marisol, Dice, everyone just responds so favorable when I reach out to them to say, hey, you want to come and just kind of share with the audience, just kind of interact with the audience. And they're so gracious with showing up. And I'm certainly thankful for everyone who passes on the phone numbers because without a way to reach you guys, me being out here in McDonough, Georgia, in the middle of nowhere, it's not possible for what I'm doing. So, we have our community. We might be spread out over the world, but this is our community. This is our village. And the more we embrace the technology, the more we embrace the social media, that is the way forward, because the numbers of COVID are growing. It's not getting any better. So we have to kind of pivot and realize that the technology and the Facebook Live and the internet and the YouTube Live and the Instagram Live, this is where we have to take our business of entertainment in order to continue thriving. So Savannh, you have any thoughts on what we could do considering that Carnival is canceled?
Actually, I do agree with what Bob said, that we can do it online. I think that the girls, they could have come to the venue, wherever that may be, and perform, and we watch online. Every year, people overseas, my family, they watch the show online, those who couldn't come to Dominica to see, and they enjoyed it. So I think that we could have done that, like he said. So you have the girls and just their team present, you have the cameraman, you have the lights and so on, everything like usual, but there's no crowd. And I think you just let people pay, just like they would pay for a ticket to watch online, and they would still generate income from that, from purchasing the tickets online, and they would have been a new Miss Dominica. But of course, I don't want to encourage that too much because I'm enjoying my second year. I want to enjoy my second year as I couldn't enjoy my first year. But I do agree with him. I think we can. I don't think we should do anything with crowds because, as you said, the numbers are growing. Even if Dominica might not be up there, other islands, and people will want to come home to celebrate if we do have a carnival. So I think we should keep everything online. But not encourage too much of the outside events where people will gather and so on, because we do want to stay safe above all else. Yes, I think the online, we're in the age of technology. We're always on our phone anyway, so why not put it to use and why not use it to celebrate our culture and to keep it going instead of just having nothing at all. So I do agree.
Yeah, well, that is what we're here for. So as many people as we can get, we have a DJ lined up for tomorrow night. DJ Marshall is going to be with, and we're just going to take a walk down memory lane. We're going to play all our favorite calypsos, all our favorite carnival music, and we're just going to share some memories because I think that's what people are craving right now. I'm not sure how you guys think about this, but I think that's what people are
Yes.
craving right now. They're craving a time when they were happy. They're craving
And there
a
was no
time.
COVID.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. When the world was a beautiful place, there was no COVID. We had good food and drinks. Did you guys hear that in St. Lucia? You're now not allowed to buy alcohol because of COVID-19.
I heard that. Yes,
Wow.
I heard that. I heard that. But
So
I
it,
think that that's one of the things we did in Dominica too. It was one of the restrictions in Dominica, and at one time during the lockdown, nobody was allowed to. The bars were not
By
allowed to sell,
alcohol.
and even the supermarkets, they were only allowed to sell a certain amount or something, or none at all, and then it became a certain amount. So it's something that is necessary, I think. Yeah, and fortunately, we've done a pretty good job in containing the virus here in Dominica and monitoring and stuff, and we don't really have to go through those things. Like, I'm hearing bad things from Antigua and so on as well, so we're in a good place. Whatever we're doing seems to be working. But as with everything that you've said, it is the new norm, so we have to learn to exist. Those of us who will be around, we have to learn to exist and have our expressions and use the internet. COVID-19 has come for, and has a lot of bad things that have happened, but a lot of good opportunities have been exposed.
yeah, and it just, with all the additional restrictions, and I think by now St. Lucia has over 700 cases.
Yes.
So
Wow.
they're in a bad situation in St. Lucia. So I think that was
Yeah,
one of the
even
reasons
Barbados too.
yeah, that they did that. But my point is, with all those restrictions, and it just seems like every day you wake up, there's another restriction imposed on you. I just think this is the time where we celebrate, a point when we were happy, when we were
Yeah.
carefree,
Yes, I
and
agree.
that's what we're gonna
Like last
do.
year carnival.
Yes,
Yes.
who knew, right? Who knew
I
last
know
year
who
at
knew
this
that was our
time?
last year jumping up. I know.
Yeah.
What were you
But
doing last year
also,
at this time, Bob?
this time last year, I was preparing for Carnival. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
who knew?
Yeah.
I was
Who
in
knew?
But
practice.
You're
yeah.
in
So
practice.
yeah, we just have to get used to it, because here's a pointer.
Mhm.
We were told, I was at a meeting the other day, and a friend mentioned that COVID-19 will be around for at least 3 years. So what if the situation is the same or even worse? It's quite possible that it's worse, because we're hearing about new strains coming out from Africa, coming out, and some have been discovered in the US. And I know once the US sneeze, we catch
Mhm.
the cold down here. So what
Pneumonia.
if the situation remains the same or becomes worse 10 months down the line? We are not going to have Carnival again. Savannh is going to reign for a
I
third
don't
year.
think she minds.
I know she doesn't mind, but we have to try to, work around the situation. But
Mhm.
I'm happy that I'm going to be meeting Savannh as monarch, meeting the carnival queen this year anyway. So Savannh, hold on to it.
I
I think
will.
you guys will take lovely
For as
pictures.
long as I can.
Yes.
I heard that thing is not light, Savan.
No.
Yeah.
Well, she's rocking it. She's rocking it, huh?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yes. So again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for everyone who joined us on Facebook and had a comment or question for us. We're certainly enjoying celebrating Carnival virtually for 2021, Dominica's Carnival 2021, because I think Carnival, it's our spirit, it's our life, and it's something we need to celebrate. So as we get ready to wind down, do you guys have any final thoughts for us, for the audience?
Well, I just want to say thank you to everyone who came on the live tonight. Thank you to my team, Savannah Grass, to my friends and family. Comment in the comments. Thank you for the love and support that I've received as Miss Dominica, even though that the rain wasn't what we expected it to be. Thank you for having me tonight. I really enjoyed myself and hoping that you invite me again sometime soon.
Yes, yes, certainly. Yes, Bob.
Uh, um, Savannah said it's a lot of what I was going to say, so I'm not going to repeat it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for supporting Calypso as well. an art form that I dedicated a lot of my life to keep going. And also look out for Daryl, Bob and Friends. We'll be back on next week. A wonderful show that we started that's working so nicely, that will evolve throughout the year. And I'm just thankful. I'm thankful to you for what you're doing, Simone. And I just want you to know that if there's anything at all, if you want me to go to the shop and buy you a pound of sugar tomorrow in Baffert Estate,
in Baffert Estate, oh, you know where I'm from.
Come on. I will be there to do it. So just let me know anything I can do to enhance what you're doing. I want to do it, because you made the point earlier that we are a community and the internet is where this is where we can congregate. This is where we can exist. Yeah. The other nationalities, they're doing it pretty well. We can do the same thing. So you are that far but this close. So I'm honored to be part of what you're doing, and I will contribute in any way, shape, or form, as long as you call on me.
Yes, and it's because of people like you, Savannh, Miss Lander, Letitia Butler, Loftus Durand, Dale Dangleben, the people I reach out to, Alex Bruno, Assassin Crew, Gordon Henderson, Gregory Rabes. These are the people when I need a number. They don't say no to me. They don't say, oh my God, Simone again with her ideas and needing somebody else's number. They just give me the number because they know they see the value in what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
But we cannot leave, Bob, without we play your new song.
All right. So what are we going to play of Savannh now?
Oh, Savannh, you're going to play the piano, Savannh, with the piano.
She'll dance to the song, man.
Savannh, go get your piano so you can play. But let's take a quick listen at Bob's new song, and I'll let you introduce the song, Bob.
The name of the song is Go and Love Your Neighbor, arranged by Daryl Bob, written by Pat Aaron, extraordinaire writer extraordinaire from the Nature Island, Dominica. River Island, y'all.
So let me know if you can hear it, okay? Hold on.
Yep, I can hear it.
Well, yes, have I taken my foot after chip?
They like their citizens in poverty, so they can buy supporters loyal. They love phobia, so they cast in spells. Oppose them your life becomes a living hell. But Mon Daniel, my good partner Steve, he was living well. He's never moving. Now we have to leave. You want to climb up the ladder by living down all good principles. You want to be loved and popular by oppressing your own poor people. Oh, if you think that being closest to the resort, the answer will take you anywhere. Yeah. How can you be a good prime minister? Never. Go love your neighbor. Go and love your neighbor. Go love your neighbor. Why go and love your neighbor?
Yeah, so just a little sample. Wow. Show some love in the comments. Excellent, Bob. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you. You're welcome. Anytime.
Yes. And again, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for being a part of the Facebook Live. And of course, here at Push Past 10, we're all about promoting and celebrating our businesses, our talents, our culture. So go ahead and like Push Past 10, follow us, click the notification. And for all you need to know about me, Simone, I get so excited about doing this Facebook Lives, guys, that I usually forget to tell my name in the beginning of the live. So for anything you need to know about me, you can check out my website at pushpast10.com. And don't forget, tomorrow night, we're here, we're back at it. We're going to have a DJ. And Saturday night, we have a very special surprise for you. Someone who has been a part of the Carnival culture for a number of years. and she will be joining us on Saturday. So we're looking forward to having her. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. If you want to know who it is, then you're going to have to check Push Past 10 for all the information you need. So again, thank you, Bob. Thank you, Savannh. And you guys
You're
have
You're
a
welcome.
wonderful
welcome.
evening. We'll
Thank
be in
you.
touch.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
All
Good
right.
Savannh. Good
night.
night. Bye
Good
bye.
night.
Thank
Stay
Bye.
you.
safe.
Mhm.
Bye.